Dana Walden was supposed to be the shoo-in next CEO for the Walt Disney Company, but, well, things are changing, and changing fast. Now, Miss Walden is receiving an award, which seems to some to have very little merit attached to it. So why is she getting some sort of milestone award, some trophy that she can put on her bookshelf? Well, it may have everything to do with trying to give her the executive suite shelf. We'll tell you why right now. Hello folks, welcome back to the place that accurately predicts what's going on in Hollywood and gives you the fresh scoops of the day. Today we're talking about Dana Walden, a name that you may not know if you're new to the channel, but which you probably should become well acquainted with. Dana Walden is the head of television when it comes to Disney, and she was supposed to be the next CEO because of her friendship with Kamala Harris. Dana Walden is also suspected, although not proven, to have been a key component in some of the shenanigans we watched with ABC News and beyond. But her star is diminishing, no longer shining as brightly as it once was. So what are you to do if you're Dana? Well, a new award, a new shiny trophy just might do the trick. Unfortunately, it may not stick. Today we'll explain why with a panel. And folks, this is the kind of thing you just can't miss. Click the like button, sit back, we'll handle the rest. All right, folks, let's go to our next topic. Jonas, is that okay?
Yes.
Well, with the yes, here we go, I guess. Jonas, in fact, since you gave such a short answer, I'll give you a chance to sort of espouse what's going on here a little bit more. Give us the exposition when it comes to why does Dana Walden matter in terms of the next CEO, and then we're going to talk about this article. Just give us a brief overview once more, Jonas. Who's Dana?
All right. Well, there are four possible candidates for the CEO position at the Disney company. Most people say it's either Dana Walden or Josh D'Amaro that are being put forward for that position. Dana Walden is the most like Bob Iger because she came up from television. She was actually under Peter Rice when they came in from Fox. She is a part of the Fox acquisition. And also, Bob Iger would very much like to break that glass ceiling for Milady here. So she also is best friends. I mean, really best friends with Kamala Harris to the point where it has affected how she has had to distance herself and put up certain supposed walls between herself and ABC News that she is in charge of.
All right. Well, that's a good description. So, folks, let's talk about this article we've got here and why it matters. Patrick Hypes, definitely not hippies, is the author here on Deadline. Disney's Dana Walden to receive PGA's Milestone Award. Here's what it says. The Producers Guild said Monday that Disney Entertainment co-chairman Dana Walden will receive the Milestone Award, given annually by the PGA for extraordinary contribution to the entertainment industry. The honor will be bestowed during the 36th Annual PGA Awards on February 8th. Past recipients of the Milestone Award include the likes of Louis B. Mayer, Walt Disney, and Alfred Hitchcock, and more recently, Steven Spielberg, Bob Iger, Sherry Lansing, George Lucas and Kathleen Kennedy, Clint Eastwood, Brian Grazer, and Ron Howard, Donna Langley, and Charles D. King. Dana Walden has made incredible contributions to the entertainment industry, overseeing the production and development of many of the most iconic and award-winning shows in history, PGA Presidents Stephanie Elaine and Donald DeLine said today in a joint statement. Her leadership, first as CEO of Fox Television Group, and now as co-chairman overseeing Disney's global television portfolio, has had a major impact on the business. We are proud to recognize her exceptional and long-standing work in this industry. Guys, there's just one problem with this statement. In every single statement I believe I have ever seen come out of one of these kinds of organizations, when they tell you about the iconic and award-winning things they've done, they list them out. Dana does not get such an award. She's getting what is, in my estimation, a meritless award. And here's my own personal speculation about this. I believe that the PGA is preparing to provide Disney a way to justify giving her the CEO position if her best pal makes it into the White House. If not, this just goes into the bin of really unwarranted awards, and there are plenty of those out there. But I don't think for a moment that Dana Walden has earned such a prestigious sort of title whatsoever, because again, I don't know what Dana Walden is doing right now that is succeeding. Was it Agatha, which they will give awards to? No. Was it Acolyte, which they will give awards to? No. Dana is failing across the board, but they needed some way to give her an award. Guys, am I missing this on anything? Is this preparation the ground for an unlikely but possible CEO movement towards Dana Walden?
You know, I think there's an important aspect of history that maybe culture could also speak to this here. Dana Walden is on the record, gleefully on the record, saying that ABC, when it was under her control, passed on pilots for not being inclusive enough. And she described those pilots as incredibly well-written scripts that did not satisfy our standards in terms of inclusion, which I think if she were if she were on a different side of the political aisle, I think that would immediately put her under investigation for discriminatory hiring practices. Honestly,
I'm so glad you brought this up. This is something that I was not going to include, and it's really, really important. She is one of the biggest proponents of meritless, tribalistic hiring practices in the industry, I think.
I do. I think so. And that's why ABC, I think in particular, has struggled to find mainstream success in the way that they used to all the time. Sitcoms have kind of gone the way of the dodo. I think they've got Abbott Elementary. I hear that's good. I've never really watched it. They're talking about reviving Scrubs again in a bit of a desperate move to say, please, please, come back. I'm also going to point out we have a story coming out on That Park Place tomorrow morning, so you're going to beat us to it here a little bit because I'll go ahead and talk about it. They're paying $500 million or so in order to get the Grammys onto ABC, despite the fact the Grammys are about half what they were a few years ago as far as ratings. Obviously, the television side of things for Disney, they're paying through the roof in order to get live events and things that aren't necessarily big because of the way that ABC would handle them. They want the things that are maybe audience agnostic or production agnostic, like NFL games. That's not Disney Television, that's ESPN. I want to be clear here. But they are going towards live events in any way that they can so that they can hold on to the cultural zeitgeist for huge dollar amounts. And I think they're back to headline chasing here. So as we see Josh D'Amaro's working on his next gen tech in the parks, Alan Bergman trying to take credit for that AI thing, I think it's Dana Walden trying to get her turn here by getting her a Producers Guild award.
So you don't think that Disney is involved in making this happen?
Oh, absolutely. Disney is involved in making this happen.
They may be, and again, it may be a way for them to get cover. But to be fair, it is a meritless award, as you mentioned. Not to mention the fact that
like, what has she done that has Dana's name on it that we should all be impressed by?
Oh, stab that Rice fella in the back on his way out the door.
Yeah. Well, Peter had it coming to him.
I don't know about that, but I tell you what, he would have been equally as bad in that position. And again, she doesn't have a lot to hang her hat on other than to push out family programming in favor of this, cultist-like stuff and this, overly, ideological thing that, pushes inclusivity to the point of exclusivity, which is what she does. But, regardless, I don't know if that's something to hang her hat on. She hasn't really done anything, as you mentioned. Usually you get to hear what they've done. She shepherded projects from place to place. Okay, so she's a file clerk. I mean, is that the most you can say about her career? In television, you usually get known for bringing shows along, bringing in great creators, bringing in incredible writers, bringing in these in the television side of things. It's your investment and involvement in making things happen there, not shepherding things from point A to point B, not managing or eking out slight improvements in your year-over-year ad revenue and your individual selection of cable channels that you manage. None of those things are overwhelming achievements. It's not like she's not Chuck Lorre. She's not going to be a name out there. Of course, that's a completely different person and under a production company, but it's the same kind of an idea. There are people who make exemplary movements in television. She's not one of them. There are names that we know. Just in a particular show, you have Chuck Lorre. Excuse me, not Chuck Lorre. Oh my gosh, name just fell out of my head. Saturday Night Live.
Lorne Michaels.
Lorne Michaels.
Thank you.
But you have these great people that you associate with not just, you know, a channel or a show or whatever. In her case, it has to be she made extraordinary things happen for Disney once she came on board from Fox, and I don't think she can point towards any of that. The most successful things that Fox has had since they've become part of Disney has been things that were already greenlit, you know, on the other side of the equation by people who were vastly superior to her, like on the FX side. So it's like I don't know how she got to the position she's in, other than she's a woman, and she's politically connected, and she goes for little jogging adventures with Bob. That's it. You know, and if you're trying to knock over some, you know, fake glass ceiling or knock it down or whatnot, there are a lot of other ladies out there that you could go out and get. A lot of people more qualified. And she does not have the depth to lead the Disney company. She doesn't understand how it operates. There's no way she should be even being considered for CEO. But you know, I could go on and on. I don't think very much of her, and she really hasn't proved herself because, you know, nobody can tell you what she's done. That's a bad sign.
And the same could be said of her best friend.
There you go. Derek, John, any thoughts?
No, I agree. I agree 100% with what Kocho just said. He nailed it. You know, there's only one reason that Dana is being considered at this point in time is because she's a woman. It's because of her connections and has nothing to do with her performance. And this is the kind of, you know, it's not about merit. All right. It's about diversity, equity, and inclusion. We got to get a woman CEO in Disney for the first time. You know, like that's the kind of message that they want to push. You know, we have to get a female president for the first time. You know, that's where we are in society. It's not about, hey, can this person get the job done? Are they the most qualified person? Do they have a resume that backs up them being the CEO of the biggest entertainment company on the planet? No, but they're a woman. So that's all that matters.
Watch this, Derek, lest we get criticized unfairly. Kocho, I think I have a pretty good grasp on your politics. In the next decade or so, if Tulsi Gabbard were to wind up being the candidate, would you ever consider voting for Tulsi Gabbard over a man, for example?
Of course, I wouldn't matter if she's a man or a woman. See, that's the other thing. The candidate needs to be capable, and Tulsi is one of those capable people. I may not agree with everything that she says, and there's areas that we distinctly disagree, but she has a solid head on her shoulders, and I believe she would lead the country in a direction that, you know, would not be where I'm terrified will go if we get the wrong person in the office this time around.
John, what do you make of Dana Walden, the award? Is this, you know, are we nearing the end? And I guess I would ask this too of you, John. Let me add this one little extra part to it, because I know you can hit this one out of the park. Kathleen Kennedy gets all these awards. Nobody's happy with Kathleen Kennedy. So why would this work with Dana? Why would this impress the public for her to get all these little dinky trophies?
So I actually want to go back to the original question. I know I'm avoiding your questions here a couple times now. But
I don't like that one. I take the other one.
But I do want to go back to the original question. I do want to push back. I actually think that it looks like she has done quite a bit at Fox. You wouldn't know it by looking at her Wikipedia page, but you do go to this Hollywood Reporter top 100 women from like 2019 or whatever in entertainment. It does list some things here that she did indeed approve and produce and greenlit. You've got Handmaid's Tale and Shrill on Hulu. Obviously, Handmaid's Tale was a major success for Hulu. That is something to hang her hat on. She also greenlit The Masked Singer. That is was a massive success on Fox Broadcast Network. They also list here that she did the This Is Us, which was huge. That thing did huge numbers, that drama that they had. I thought that show was terrible, but people liked it for whatever reason. And then you've got these other Emmy winners, Pose and Fosse Verdun.
Yeah, I don't know Emmy winners. I mean, the Emmy winners.
I'm just saying she does have some credits to her list here. And then if we're looking at this this award, who else are you going to put there? Like, I mean,
okay.
What
Let
other,
me ask you this, John.
what other producers can you look at?
Here's the pushback. Let's say that Dana does deserve the award. Do you not find it just a little suspicious, a little fishy, that it just so happens after Disney brings in Gorman from Morgan Stanley to select the next CEO. And after it starts getting leaked out that he's probably going to be searching for external candidates, i.e. not Dana, that the week after that happens, she's getting major awards. I mean,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I definitely feel like that it's not just a coincidence, right? I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that I do think that there are things here that it looks like she could potentially be deserving of this award, and it's not just completely unmerited, because she does have some things here on her resume that I do think show that she does have some at least sense on her shoulders to make good decisions. I mean, like I said, The Masked Singer and Handmaid's Tale were big hits for both Hulu and Fox. So I don't want to like discount.
And were this coming out back then when they were really part of the zeitgeist, I'd be with you. But I will say this, John, you consistently bring up great points that push back, and it's tremendously appreciated. Folks, that's what makes a great show, is having someone who can counterpoint with logic and it's sound. And John, I agree now. I had not put Dana Walden together with Handmaid's Tale. Now, all of that said, I think we both agree that it's still fishy, the timing, and I would have suspected she could be getting the awards when these were more prominent versus right now. But
isn't it like a lifetime award? What is exactly is the award for?
It sounds like a lifetime achievement or something.
Let's see if we can pull it back up here. She is getting PGA's Milestone Award. So not a lifetime, but a milestone. She broke a milestone. We just don't know what the milestone is. It's an
I'm sorry. It's Disney, so I thought it was a Millstone Award.
On that. You know, it's always sad when one of these video ends, and yet it is the beginning of the wait for the next one to land. 4 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. And by the way, there's plenty more on our partner channels. That Part Place, That Pod Place, That Game Place. And go check out the original music we have on stations like Vacation Radio. We'd love to have you, love to entertain you. At least we'll do a better job than some of the current entertainment companies. Folks, like, share, subscribe, and you know what? Drop a comment right on down below. Share this out anywhere you go on social media. And until the next time, we have the honor, the pleasure of getting to spend time with you when you choose to invite us into your day to add the value that we hope to bring your way. We ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.